Hey there, welcome to your Monday Book Talk. This is the last one of the summer edition because we'll be headed back to school this week. This week I completed 2 books. One was Burn Baby Burn by Meg Medina, and it is set in 1977 in New York City during the Son of Sam murders. The main character is Hispanic, and she lives with her mother and her brother, who is going through a lot of issues right now. Her father left the family and married another woman and has a small child. He pretty much is absent completely from their lives. He calls them on holidays, forgets their birthdays, is always late with the child support, things like that. So they're struggling a little bit, but they're trying to get by, trying to not share their family struggles with even their friends or neighbors because they don't want to be judged by that. They're very close in their issues. But the climate of the city is very hot, as well as people are literally setting things on fire. There's a lot of arson going on, a lot of fear over these shootings, which at first don't seem to be connected, but then it becomes evident that there is one person who's claiming responsibility for these murders and that they are connected. So it's very interesting to kind of get a slice of life of this particular time period in this particular place. There's a little bit of relationship drama in there, a lot of, like I said, family issues. You know, when do you break the silence? When do you tell people that you need help and that your family is experiencing things that you would really rather they not, that are destructive? So I would definitely recommend it. I won't tell you, too much about it. And the other book I read is called Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez, and it is set in East Texas in 1937, and it's based around the New London school explosion, which was an actual historical event. It's referred to as the worst school disaster in history in America, where an elementary school exploded. And if you've never heard of it before, I'm not going to tell you exactly what caused the explosion, but the beginning of the book, I will warn you, this book is fairly graphic, so if you do not like descriptions of tragedies, of explosions, and the aftermath of things like that, there's also some other issues in this book relating to sexual abuse, interfamily violence, alcoholism, racism. There's a lot of stuff going on in this book. It was quite difficult for me to really persevere with, but I read it as part of a readathon. This weekend I was doing the 24 in 48 readathon, where the goal is to read 24 hours within a 48-hour window, which I did manage to read 24 hours and 15 minutes in the 2 days. About 7 hours of that was audiobook, which I'll talk about that audiobook next week after I finish it. And I read a couple of other things that I'll be talking about in next week's book talk as well. But having that time pressure really kind of helps me push through this book. That and the thought of mine that this is an important story. A lot of times history is kind of whitewashed, especially in the media and sometimes in our curriculum. People want to think that the past was a place in which everything was better. Okay, that things are terrible now, and that in the past things were great, and people didn't have problems, and that's just not true. Okay, it's just not true. So books like this do a good job of really kind of opening a window and showing you a view of a more realistic portrayal of what was exactly going on in America in 1937 in East Texas. So I would definitely recommend it if you're interested in learning more about the post-Depression era, oil fields, things like that. There's a lot of stuff going on in that particular book. Other than that, I think that's all I was going to share with you guys today. This should be the last one that I do from my carport, so next time it will be on my lovely computer at school, and hopefully it will cooperate and not do any horrible freezing and stuff for you. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I myself and Miss Quarter will be in the library for freshman orientation. So if you're a freshman, or if you have a freshman, know a freshman, tell them to stop by the library, and we'll give them a little treat. Parents can also get parent portal information in the library if they'll bring their ID with them. We'll be happy to give that to them. That's from 6 o'clock until about 8 o'clock at night. So, well, see you later. Bye.